So this chief general manager looks at me gingerly and says, hello. I said, sir, that's a beautiful ring you're wearing. Is that Pokhraj? It's a Pokhraj. He looks at his ring. I said, sir, are you wearing it for astrological reason or you like rings? No. Pandita told me it's astrological reason. I said, sir, in that case, Pokhraj should be worn on the first finger, not on the third one. Pandit did not tell me, please bring that contract. He shifted the ring from the third finger to the first one. Putting the pen down was no, shifting of the ring was yes. That's all that happened. He signed the contract. So, observing the body language and relating to what is going on, recognize what is happening around you at all times. So communication has also to do with lots of observation. So we got whom are you talking to, when, where, why, what is the content. Depends on the subject or depends on what you want to achieve, the content will keep on changing. And how, what we are talking about is different things about how. But whenever you do this, any communication, remember it has to do with human psychology, and one factor that outweighs everything else about the technique of communication is the human factor. What do I mean by human factor? See, at the psychological level, all human beings are the same. There's no difference. All of us have the same fear, the same anxiety, same aspiration, Symbolic differences might be there. The expression might be different, but we basically feel the same. The most powerful man in the world, the President of America, still has a posse of people protecting him. He's afraid. Now this is what I call the human factor. Just give you a simple example. Indiraji was assassinated on Wednesday, as I recall. Thursday, entire India was closed. 2 kilometers from where I live, my brother lives there. He called me up. He said, if you're not doing anything, come. I said, I'll go down. If I find a taxi, I'll come. Otherwise, not today. He said, fair enough. I went downstairs, looked for there was nobody in sight. I walked a few hours. In the corner, there was a cab. I walked over there. There's a huge guy occupying the front seat. There's nobody. I walked up to him. I looked at him, and I was scared. But since I'm there, I've committed myself. I asked him, I said, Tardev le jaoge? He doesn't respond verbally. He just says this, does this. So I get in the back seat, he starts driving. We are the only car on the entire road. And my anxiety level is rising. And I'm having internal dialogue. I said, you are afraid of this guy. So my answer comes to me because, you haven't heard his voice. And you are the only one on the road. Anything could happen. So I said, I would like to hear his voice. So I asked him, मैंने क्या रास्ते में गाड़ी चला रहे और सन्नाटा छाया हुआ कैसा महसूस हो रहा है? This huge guy turns his face, साहब बहुत डर लग रहा है. Just imagine, if you think about it, he had more reason to be afraid of me than I had of him. His back was towards me. I could have shot him dead. I could have knifed him. I could have done all kinds of things. So that level, human beings are the same. Please remember, the human psychological level, all are the same. And so once you get people at that level, everything else becomes fine. So communicate heart to heart, not head. Next, as I give you that model, communicator, receiver, there are a lot of barriers that are in there. In one of my workshops in communication, I told the participants to write down what are the different barriers from communicator to receiver. So they wrote down, communicator is only one way of communicating, he doesn't take into consideration different kind of audiences, fair. He doesn't want to learn new things. He has a low self-image. If you don't think much of yourself, then you cannot communicate properly. You have to have self-confidence. Then you are prejudiced. You look at a person like me, Sala Buddha ho gaya, wo kya karega? So that's a prejudice. I remember when I went to America at age 24, I was taught in Gujarat, do not trust Punjabis. How many Punjabis here? Raise your hand. Ek, do, bas. 3. Good. You will appreciate this. So I was systematically taught not to trust Punjabis. At 24, I was in America. 29, I moved to Canada. I'd still not met a single Punjabi. When I came to Montreal, Canada, I looked around and was looking for a place to rent. I asked one of the French guys, I said, where do I find a place to rent? Is you from India? I say, yeah. Is you bachelor? I say, yeah. He said, go to mountain sites. So I go to mountain sites. I find a place. I rent it. And to my horror, I discover this side is Kapoor, Dheer, Bharadwaj, Kohli, Khosla. All Punjabis. Surrounded by them. One thing in 6 years in America I learned, if you cannot win them, join them. So I went shaking hand with all of them. I said, I am Rooshikumar Pandya. Haan to ki hai. You know. So I said, guys, we are all bachelors. Haan to. See, we cook every night. And that's not economical. Instead of that, we take turns. I cook for 6 people one night. The second day, another person cooks for everybody. So that way we take turns, we save money. Sala, Gujarati brain hai. You know, that was a Punjabi comment. Gujarati, my people think of money all the time. So, they liked the idea. So we started cooking. I had a great time eating chole, bhature, paratha, rajma. They had a horrible time eating my food. You know. Gujaratis put sugar into everything. You know. तो अशोक देर बोला साहब तो दाल बना रहा है खीर बना रहा है You making dal or some payasam or so I learned not to put sugar and we became good friends. But I had this thing in my head, I'm not supposed to trust them. So I'm always looking for an answer. Why? Where we lived, ladies and gentlemen, across the street was a race course, Blue Barnet. After chole, bhature and paratha, all Punjabis go bet on the horses. Gujarati guy stays home, counts the money. 25th of the month, all these Punjabis are out of money. Horses ate them. So this Ashok Dir comes to me 5 days more before the salary. Hey, Rushi, $10 de de, post-dated check le brother. He said, give me $10, take a post-dated check for 5 more days for chole bhature. We are all job people. I give him $10 check. He gives, I give him $10 cash. He gives me $10 check. On the first of the month, I deposit the check. Third of the month, check bounces. When the check bounces, Gujarati brain goes into overdrive. Abru kap gayi, naak kapai gyu, izzat chali gayi, naak kat gaya. Dunya bhar ka, Gujaratis there is very, funny about money. So, I'm wondering. I said, this Ashok, there is a nice guy, I should not ask this $10. His check bounced, he'll be very embarrassed if I ask him. Then I think it's my first job, I need the money also. So I'll ask him quietly. I decided in my mind I wouldn't embarrass him in front of others. I'll take him on the side and request him to give my money. So in the evening after chole bhature, I said, Ashok, kya galla karni hai? Come here, I want to talk to you. Ki hai? What's the talk? I said, private. Arey ki private, Shahid? That's why yaar, ki hai? Tell me what it is. So I sheepishly take the check out. मैं कह रहा था चेक बाउंस हो गया हाँ दूसरा ले लेना यार उसकी कोई इज्जत नहीं उसका कोई नाक नहीं कट गया this one bounce I give you another one. What's the problem? So think about it. It's a completely different attitude about money. Once I accepted that, we became the best friends. Today my best friends are Punjabi. When I left Montreal in '82, 200 Punjabis family threw a party for me. So one Gujarati couple, Shah family from New York, came to see me off. Both doctors, 20 years in America. I said, Rushi bhai, shu karo aaj raat? What are you doing tonight? I said, I have this party. Hame bhi aao, no mufat khawano Gujarati, everybody. So we will come also. I said, sure. We go to this party. There are 200 families in this big hall. And we walk in, this Shah couple goes in, and they didn't turn around. They walk back. They call me, Rushi bhai, humne andar na jawa. We cannot go inside. I said, why not? Bahut bik laga, badda Punjabi se. See, we are scared. They are all Punjabis. Now, think of this. What prejudice has done to their heads. In India, we don't have integration because these things are inculcated right from childhood. That's the problem. That's why we don't become one country. Wrong communication by well-meaning parents, and you can do a lot of damage with good intention. Remember this. There's a proverb in English, road to hell were paved with good intention. Road to hell was also paved with good intention. You can do a lot of damage with intention. Good intent is not good enough. You have to have good judgment also to go with it. That's very important. So recognize that. Next.